All right, everybody, welcome back to Crypto Cosm.
We got a lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. We got the ups, we got the downs, we got the all-arounds. We're going to be talking about the charts, we're going to be talking about the coins, we're going to be talking about some countries. So much is going on, so much to talk about. Where do we even start? I think
you take it away here.
I think we should start with the chart. Now, I've been eyeballing this probably first thing when I wake up after I brush my teeth. No, that's a lie. I look at the chart first. And the last thing I look at before I go to bed. Yes, I am that guy. So let's have it right here. So as you can see, we have these two bright green lines forming into this descending wedge going over to the right side of the screen. And what these trend patterns are doing are basically just putting the squeeze and making this up ride and this down ride a little shorter every time. Now, what do we really want to see happening here? Well, everybody wants Bitcoin to go up, obviously, but if we really break that down and we take a look at what the best scenario is for Bitcoin to go up, we actually want Bitcoin to go down right now. I know. That sounds strange. But I want it to go down. And as of yesterday, on the 4th, it did just that. We hit and tapped the top of the roof of that resistance line in the descending wedge, and we headed straight down. And boy, did we head down quick. And we're going to talk about those specifics here in a minute. But we really want to see this price just being driven right into the middle of this wedge. The tighter this pattern becomes, the more definitive direction we're gonna see once we either break up and out or down and out. So I think we're gonna gain a lot more comfortability in the direction moving forward if we see that price decrease now. And thankfully, we are. We are.
Yeah, that CNBC, we're gonna go to 9,000 and what? That's all a bunch of.
I hope not. I didn't want to see it, and I was grateful. So we got Bitcoin and Ethereum, Bitcoin and Ethereum, the two big dogs. So Bitcoin dropping $400 in 30 minutes across
Big dip.
multiple platforms. So they have this club of wallet hunters out there that goes and takes a peek and monitors the blockchain and things like that. And there's a lot of talk about possibly these coins being left and hanged out from back in the days of Silk Road. And these individuals, whoever holding those Bitcoins, are now transferring into multiple exchanges, cashing out. Okay, guys, you ready to hit that button? 1, 2, 3, go. Dive, dive, dive. And in 30 minutes, we lost just over $400. We were at 7,300 and change, and we dropped to just touched it to like 68.90, I believe. So like that, in the snap of a fingers. Likewise, we have Ethereum. And in the same amount of time, and roughly the same amount of space as when Bitcoin dropped, 200,000 from exchanges from Bitfinex, Digits Global, Kraken, and I think 2 or 3 other exchanges as well, all within the period of 2 hours sold an accumulative number of 200,000 Ethereum.
Dropping from about 300 down to about 240. 243, something like that last time I checked today.
And meanwhile, I'm sitting here staring at the chart. I'm like, it's coming up to the roof. I'm like, don't break out, come back down. And well, my prayers were answered because in the matter of 2.5 hours, I was like, yes.
Your prayers were answered, and everyone else is like, no, why?
I'm thinking big picture, ladies and gentlemen. I'm in it for the long haul. I'm not in it to get rich overnight. And if you are, then hey, you know what? I hope that works for you guys. But you know, slow and steady has won the race in my book time and time again. And I have been a patient man. And I'm going to continue to be patient. Patience is definitely needed in the crypto game.
Yeah.
Man, oh man. So, tell me some of what's happening up there, please.
Ooh. Well, I mean, right now we've got our money planet Venus is opposing Uranus in Taurus. So it's like she's, Venus, referred to as a she, it's like there's this is a beautiful tug of war happening. As Taurus is the home planet, she's in Libra right now, which is her second home planet. So it's like myself versus others, my money, what's mine, what's yours, and it's opposing this Uranus, this breakthrough bubble. It's like, well, what are we gonna do? It's tension, okay? Uranus is like the release of tension. Well, right now it's in a difficult aspect, and if you follow with us before, we talked about this grand square that's happening. So squares are hard aspects. So Venus is squaring Mars, Mars is squaring Uranus, Uranus is squaring the North Node is squaring Venus, Venus is opposing Uranus, and Mars is opposing the North Node.
That's a lot
going on. I don't expect many of you to be like, oh, I got it. Thanks for that tip, Aaron.
One more time now?
Right. But that is great change. Okay, inevitable great change is going to happen. It means there's also going to be a bit of struggle during that. It's like if you want to reset a broken bone, it's going to hurt. There's no way to avoid that. And we have a new moon coming up here on Saturday the 9th. And we always see this little kind of a dip before a new moon. It's happened quite often, as we've talked about plenty in the past. And then we see a bit of a rise happening.
The news cycle.
And what's great is Mercury, the messenger, the trader of goods, which is huge in our market, okay? Venus and Mercury are two big players in the crypto world, is moving into its home sign, second home sign of Virgo, okay?
It sounds comfortable.
Well, it is. It's great because it's an earth sign. It's going to be forming that big trine between Uranus and Saturn, okay? So when we have the money planet, when we have our planet of trade goods, Mercury, forming that aspect to Saturn, coming into Virgo, this earth sign, these are really good aspects, okay? And the sun is there right now. The sun is there's so much oppositions and squares happening right now. Again, it's just like a little bit of strife. Like, you're going to get wet in the water, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, this is going to hurt. Take a breath. But it's necessary. It's the necessary steps. But we have this. After this weekend, we have a lot of positive aspects coming up, okay? Very green aspects. Now, as well as that, let's talk about Mars. Mars has been retrograde. Mars is out of its retrograde cycle, but it retrograded for 2 months, right? Since June, since the beginning of June. Now, Mars is associated with our let's move forward, let's accelerate, let's get things done. That's the wall I need to break through. Kool-Aid Man, oh yeah,
It's the planet.
Right, so right now, Mars was up in Aquarius. It went all the way back. It retrograded backwards into Capricorn. It's get stuff done sign where it loves to be, right? Which is good. Get stuff done. So for the past 2 months, think about it. How has your own life kind of been like you feel like we're moving forward, but it's like that uphill through the mud, trudging along, okay? So it's like there's been progress, but it's just been that difficult. Every step is very difficult to take. Well, now Mars is out of that. And it's like as soon as it happened, I know a lot of people have been like, wow, I finally feel that release. I finally feel like I can make things happen. So, but where's that at is where you can finally get things done that we started back in June, right? Think about that for a minute. Where have you been? What are you working on now that you started back in June? You're probably kind of wrapping up some ends there, tying up those loose ends. And that's exactly where we're at in this market as well. We're tying up some loose ends. We're getting stuff done before Mars is moving back into the community of Aquarius, back into that technological, sign to to continue moving forward, to make these moves necessary for the community. So we have a lot of green coming up on the horizon. Again, this is necessary this week until we hit this new moon on Saturday. And then it looks like we have about 10 days, maybe 10 days of what looks like positive aspects before we get hit with a really hard aspect. And that's coming around the 18th, through about October 8th, okay? October 8th. Now that sounds like a good chunk of time, because it is. But I'm telling you, watch it right now, because we're looking about where we were how I see it, and we talked about this before the show, is around April, where we saw this tug of war in April coming around. It's like, it's up, it's down, it's down, it's down, it's down, it's coming up, it's down, it's down. We're going to see a lot of that happening.
We had this very straight line pattern where it was
right. And that's going to be Mercury and the Sun both squaring Saturn when they move into Libra. And they move into Libra almost at the exact same time. So you start to feel it on the 18th. And then it becomes more finite and defined, and then, we're going to get hit.
And as we track these things right now, I mean, even according to the charts, I mean, we've already hit the top of the ceiling. Now we're coming back down. And we've got that going on for about the next 4, 5, 6 days or so. And then we flip around in green, and then we're seeing this green territory for several weeks, according to the guys of the sky.
I would say, again, the 10th is, I wouldn't say several weeks here, because, so the 9th is the new moon, the 9th, so we're coming up, but then the 18th is when we're going to start to feel the pressure, okay? Saturn, the Saturn squeeze, it's like we kind of dubbed it earlier this year, the Saturn squeeze.
I lost a cycle in there.
So around the 18th, but that's when I'm guessing we're going to start feeling it, but around the 26th, 24th, there's a new moon on the 20th, or a full moon on the 24th, and that's when things, when the aspects line up more perfectly, we're really going to start to feel that around that the full moon.
And what we're looking for here is, like I said, this consolidation pattern. And I feel like we're playing Pong in a very short space now. We're traveling up 5, 6 days, coming back down 5, 6 days, traveling up, and then we have just this gap of good-looking wonderfulness in the sky, and that's what we're looking towards here once we break out of this wedge. It's going one way or another, and it's going to set the tone for the next market cycle. So that right there is music to my ears. So we're going to have some more information on some coins. Now, I've got some put aside just to wait for that breakout period. And I'm going to bring a list of coins to let you guys know what might be some good options to think about, and actually some low-cost options that are just trading mad volume right now. So there's a lot of attention still in some of these coins that are up at the top of the list that I want to keep my eye on, especially through this next bull run. Can't wait.
And now, did you say you started to feel that when we were talking earlier, something around that second week of October as well, that you're...
So when we can even bring the chart back up here. So if we look very at the end, where the green lines intersect. So we're looking at breaking out one way or another before the end of this pattern. And it actually does line up with about the beginning of October. So one way or another, up or down, is the technical analysis without putting the layer of planets on top of it, which is why I love this stuff.
It just lines up, right? Like independently of its own, they just kind of line up.
It's magical. It's magical.
And I'll talk a little bit more about just some fun astrology stuff that's going on right now. So Virgo's here. Virgo, again, very precise. It's the very precise communication planet ruling of Mercury. And then across from Virgo is Pisces, where Neptune is. Neptune and Pisces is the ruling sign of Neptune. It's like your dreams, the expansion of consciousness, the unconsciousness. Carl Jung says the conscious mind is but a bobber in the ocean of the unconscious, right? So there's a lot of this like dreamy. I guess the best you can say is like those looking at life through rose-colored glasses, and there's a hint of that going on right now as we have the sun opposing Neptune, and it's just like, oh, I can see my dreams. It's just like, oh, I can see when Bitcoin's gonna hit $100 gazillion, and I'm gonna have my house on Maui, and I'll have my other house over here in France, and then I'll have this, and I'll be sitting at the beach drinking cocktails, and then it's just like. Yeah, but here on Earth, it's only $6,900.
I could dream, can't I?
Right, and that's great. It's great to dream. It's great to go big, but it's also really important to keep our feet on the ground right now and look at the facts. The fact is where we are at. We're not at $9,000. We're not at $10,000. We're not at $20,000 again. And it's like we read these message boards, and everyone's just like, it's this and it's this and it's this. It's like, no, it's this. You know, so as we come up here now, okay, so the full moon that just happened last month, the 26th, was very, very positive. To me, like I think I called it out, I said it was the most positive full moon of the year. This new moon in Virgo opposing Neptune is also going to be a very, very, very positive new moon, as it's you know, that laser grid focus, that laser beam focus, of like this very specific thing. So if it's a company that's creating something, they're going to be creating a very specific thing. It's going to be a very specific task that this coin is going to accomplish, or that this company is going to solve this problem. And we should really look for these things right now as like, okay, well, who's popping out that's saying, oh, well, we're going to go after this. You know, this very, very narrowed, exact idea, exact concept.
Backed.
Talk about it.
Backed. So, and we've gone over this one. This one's going to be under some serious microscopes, especially come end of October, beginning of November. Backed. So the New York City Stock Exchange put together a company that's going to be, think about it like the universal translator of digital money. Put what you want in, whatever the other person wants on the other side comes out of the box. Like, you can't make that stuff up. That's amazing. Now we have entered into the realm of programmable money. I put what I want in, you get what you want out. I don't have to wait for McDonald's to say, I accept Bitcoin. I don't need it. I want to pay Bitcoin, McDonald's gets dollars on the other end. So now everybody was, Bitcoin adoption, Bitcoin adoption.
You don't need to wait anymore.
We don't even need to wait anymore. It's like we jumped 3 steps ahead and we didn't even see it coming.
And it's solving a very real problem.
It's amazing. So that's going to be a huge, I think that's bigger than the ETF. In my personal opinion, I got tired of the ETF news. And for those of you that have not done the research, maybe the ETF was very, very functional back years ago when we wanted to buy gold and other commodities like that. So with an ETF, you could purchase the rights to it and not necessarily have to have all that gold shipped to you or moved to you. So now we own it electronically. Well, why do you need another piece of data to own another piece of data? It seems now redundant in my eyes. In the software world, that would be cut out of the equation. So personally, I think it's a big fluke. Unless we're talking about the social aspects of the individuals that may or may not know actually what it is. They're like, Bitcoin ETF, all right, let's go. You know what I'm saying? And so many individuals are. I mean, you look at some of these fake groups, Facebook groups, and some of them are like, yes. Some of them are like, oh my God, I got denied again. And then it's just like, let's look at the big picture. Do we really even need it? Or is it really redundant? Or is it just the fact that it becomes insurance or insured, or federally insured, etc., once that ETF becomes put in place?
Yeah, and it's like another one of those things where I look at it, and I like how you just worded it. And again, Uranus moving into Taurus is breaking up traditions, right? Breaking up traditions. So it's just like we're leaning on it or looking at it to lean on it. Like, well, once this happens, then this and this and this and this. So it's like, well, no, we're talking about breakthroughs, revelations in the digital world, the digital revolution. So it's like, well, we don't need to rely on the systems of the past to create a new future. That's, again, being a product of our environment. We don't need to rely on these things. We have new technology, new ways to look at things, new ways to view things, and certainly new money to be had to spread around and different ways to implement that into the system.
I think at one point it was moving only so fast to where you're evolving only to like the next step. I feel like we're now evolving to the point where it's so fast, all of a sudden it's like we can jump over 3, 4, 5 steps. And it's just like,
you can't do that. Well, we just did.
Yeah, challenge accepted. And those are the types of things that we're going to be seeing and why this technology is going to spread so insanely fast. You will not be able to believe your eyes. It's
I'm excited.
Incredible. Incredible.
I'm excited for the future.
So we talked about a lot of the downs. I want to talk about one of the ups. Iran. What it $24,000. I'm going to say that one more time. That's not a mix-up. $24,000 Bitcoin. Now that's not like 24,000 Iranian rials. No. If we translate it into the Iranian currency, that's just over 1 billion rial per Bitcoin. So we've had some serious things going on with the tariff and the trade war. We have issues with Europe, basically US putting Europe up to saying, it's Iran or us. You pick who you want to do trade with. Or get lost. So that's essentially what happened. So Europe had to pull out of Iran and a lot of the trade that they did with them, which caused a lot of their goods not being able to be exported. So, which made it the inflation go up.
Yeah.
So their government had just legalized mining and also accepted Bitcoin mining as an actual industry.
Which is awesome. I mean, that reminds me of the 55 gold rush. I mean, it is real. It is stamped the king's approval.
And it's a done deal. So $24,000 Bitcoin. So, and they're like, well, how could a Bitcoin be $24,000 just in Iran? Well,
right. And here it's only 6,900.
If you think about it, well, Iran is the only place where you can change in Iranian money for cryptocurrency. You can't take your Iranian money, go to Coinbase and say, I want to trade this in. So there's only certain outlets where this money can go into the market. So they have to have Iranian markets, and we can see what the levels are up or down in those markets. So whenever these currencies, these countries' currencies are taking a dump, well, we switch over and go, well, what's happening in the crypto realm? Exchange is over there. Oh, well, it's actually up 7,200%. So in Korea is another fine example. So Korea is always, I think, normally about 1,000 to 1,500, maybe a little even more, depending on the day, more expensive than the Bitcoin in the U.S., according to their currency. So they don't have any other choice. There's nowhere that they could take their money and go and trade it in for cryptocurrency.
So what do you think that means for us, for our market here?
Overall, I mean, because once you are working with the actual coins, and it all depends on how their currencies are, obviously relating to our currencies.
Right.
I think it does present the opportunity for some arbitrage. I buy it one place, really cheap. I bring it over here. It's really expensive. I get rid of it, if you can do that. And there's also other technologies that are using, like Ethos, that looks at the prices of all the different markets and goes, okay, we should buy here to kind of balance out this arbitrage market that we have. And as technology becomes a little faster, a little better, a little more connected, those things are going to kind of even out because it's becoming more and more decentralized. Like, I mean, we have Binance decentralized exchange coming up. I think there's like 3 or 4 other ones that are coming out here now in November. One of them is linked with the New York City Stock Exchange as well. I'm sorry, NASDAQ. And NASDAQ's really trying to keep up with the NYSE back system. So there's going to be a whole slew of cryptocurrencies that are going to be offered on NASDAQ here shortly too. So it's like, I had a conversation with a friend of mine the other night and he's just like, oh, the market, man, Bitcoin's dead, man. It's just not doing nothing. It's just dead. I'm like, I have never been more excited about it than right now. I'm like, if you could only see over the horizon, just right there.
Right. Oh, there's a mountain in front of me. There must be nothing on the other side.
That's right. That's right.
Except, Los Angeles and you're like, what? Here I am at the Grand Canyon. There's a big hole. Well, let's just turn around and go back to Detroit. No.
The Earth is only as large as I can see far.
Explore.
That's it.
Yeah, there's such a bigger horizon. There's such a bigger picture. And I love it. I mean, it's one of those things where like we almost, for us, the hardcore kryptonites, whatever. You know, we want, in a certain sense, we've been talking, we want the more people in this pool, the better. But as well, during this time, this year, we also want to maximize. We want to maximize profit. Yes, we're in for the long haul. We want to maximize profit. And the best way to do that is to buy low, sell high. So when you have people jumping in the market, like, you know what, I'm going to dip my toe in the pool. Cool. Water level raises a little bit. And they're like, I felt a raindrop. No, I'm going to get out. And you're like, clear skies, man. You just felt the splash from somebody else over there, and you're jumping out. All right, cool. More pool, more, there's more going on. But it's like there's a greater opportunity for us to buy in at the right prices. And then when it hits, when we go from 3% to 6% to 9% to 15%, right, exactly. and as we've been doing this tug of war all year round, right? More things are popping up. The mainnet's popped up over here, and it's just like, well, we thought it was going to be in this, but it's actually in this, and this is becoming more successful. Or there's literally things popping up all over the place that are getting done and making these moves. So it's just like, cool, yeah, good. Forget about it for a little while. We're going to make the moves. We're still going to move forward here, and then all of a sudden it's going to explode. Boom. November looks amazing. Then, oh my God, just wait till. I can't talk about 2019 with you yet, but there is so much good stuff on the horizon for 2019. January 2020. I'm telling you, the big picture stuff is big.
So we got a couple minutes left here. So I put something together that I'm doing for a presentation this weekend, but I would really like to share it here. So what I did was I took a look at just Coinbase and said, if I bought every coin that's on Coinbase right now, which is 5 coins, if I bought all 5 of those coins in January 2017, $1,000 each. I'm going to give you one quick guess. How much do you think I would have had at 2018, end of 2018? One guess.
100 grand.
Close. $320,000 for a $5,000 investment. So what I did was I took a look at the prices right now and said, if I did $1,000 in each one of those 5 coins on Coinbase right now, today, 1,000. How much would that be if the price rose just back up to where we were in December? One guess. How much do you think?
$100,000.
Not quite exactly. It's a little over $24,000, but that's on $5,000. So just to get back up to where we were, you're looking at a 4.5 times gain. Just buying $1,000 of each of the cryptocurrencies just on Coinbase.
That's
to get
today.
Back where we were. Today, right now. It was actually yesterday, but...
Well,
so
today would be even better because it went down.
There we go. So we're probably looking at over $25,000. Keeping in mind that we are not financial investors, and always be sure to do your own research and make the best choices possible for you.
But those numbers can't lie. I mean, those are fun words, but numbers can't lie. It's there.
Yeah, and we're not turning around and going backwards, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
The country's currencies are going down. The cryptocurrencies are going up. We're seeing it more.
And we're seeing more and more on the blockchain. We're seeing so much more coming in. It's just, we're going to have to save some of this stuff for the next episode.
Can't wait. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing, and hitting that little notification button down at the bottom so you guys don't miss a beat here on
Crypto Cosm.